Hey, what is going on, guys? If you are new to my channel, welcome. And if you are coming back, it is awesome to see you again. Today I have another vocab lesson for you. This one is about some common idioms in English. These are all very commonly used by native speakers, and they are perfect for making your speaking and writing sound more natural. Let's get started. So a few notes. Some of these idioms can be a full sentence by themselves, while other idioms can only be part of a sentence, so they have to have other words with them. I'll explain that for each idiom. And then for the idioms that are only part of a sentence, I'll explain some common sentence structures that use these idioms, so you can know what other words usually go with the idioms. All right, first idiom, a blessing in disguise. This means a good thing that seemed bad at first. This can only be part of a sentence. So for example, losing my job turned out to be a blessing in disguise because 3 weeks later, I found an even better job. The sentence structure here usually is the situation comes first, and then was or turned out to be a blessing in disguise because, and then you explain why. A dime a dozen. This means something that is very common and not special. This is always part of a sentence. For example, she was the prettiest girl in her town, but in a big city like Los Angeles, girls like her are a dime a dozen. For structure, this usually goes at the end of a sentence, and then right before it is the common thing you're talking about. Next, to beat around the bush. This means to avoid saying your true opinion or communicating directly because the truth will be uncomfortable. And this is part of a sentence. For example, my boss kept beating around the bush when I asked about the promotion. Another example, stop beating around the bush and just tell me the truth. So here there isn't really a common structure, but beat is a verb, so you would use this idiom as the verb in your sentence. To bite the bullet, this means to do an unpleasant thing just to get it over with and finished. This is also only part of a sentence. I really don't want to study for my English test, but Saturday, I'm just going to bite the bullet and study in the library all afternoon. I know you don't want to go to the gym, but just bite the bullet and go. It's good for you. Here, there isn't really a common structure, but bite is a verb, so you'll use this idiom as the verb in your sentence. Next, break a leg. This means good luck or I hope you do well. And this idiom can be a full sentence by itself. This is especially common in spoken English. For example, I'm so nervous I have a big speech to give on Monday. Relax, you'll do fine. Break a leg. Next, to call it a day. This means to stop working on something for the rest of the day. And this is part of a sentence. For example, we've been working for 4 hours. Let's call it a day. We can study more tomorrow. And it is often paired with words like let's, should, can, and will. Also, call is a verb, so use this idiom as the verb in your sentence. Next, to cut someone some slack. This means to not be so critical or harsh towards a person. And just like break a leg, this idiom can be a full sentence by itself, but it doesn't have to be. It can also be part of a sentence. For example, I know Dave's been late to work a few times this week, but we should cut him some slack because his wife just had a baby. Another example, why didn't you clean the kitchen? Cut me some slack, I had a super long day at work. Usually, if it is a full sentence, it is in spoken English, not written English. Last idiom for this video. To cut corners, this means to do something poorly in order to save time or save money. And this idiom is part of a sentence. I don't go to that restaurant anymore because they've started cutting corners. Their food isn't as good as it used to be. So for some structure here, if you use the ing at the end of cut, you would add is, was, or started. Hopefully that makes sense. So now for a challenge, I want you guys to write a few example sentences in the comments that use some of these idioms. A few days after I post this video, I will review the comments and give you guys all some feedback on your writing. Okay, that is all for this video. If you enjoy these vocab videos, let me know because they're pretty easy to make, so I can make a lot more of these in a pretty short amount of time. If you have any questions, you can also leave them in the comments. Keep studying hard, stay motivated, stay positive, and as always, I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.